It is 9 a.m. April 16th, 2019. I'm at the end of the road that goes down to Santa Rosa-ish. And what you see there is Interstate 25, and the railroad tracks are just on the other side. I'm going to walk out to 781, I think it is. Last time I was here, there were rotating clouds that were kind of in a pinwheel configuration, so it was alternating between clouds and blue sky. What I've got here today is blue sky, but to the east and maybe a little bit to the west there are clouds, and I'm afraid that this could just turn into clouds rather rapidly, so I'm in a big hurry to get out there. I've got my 4x5 camera, my tripod, a changing bag, 2 Graphmatics, 10 sheets of 4x5 Velvia 50. I'm ready to go. I am now at the Hogback sign. It's a minute later, roughly. Over there are the Santa Fe tracks. And about 5 miles that way is 781, or 781.1 and 781.2. Off I go. Curves are nicely super elevated. Let me check the time. Wasting time. 9:29. So 30 minutes to Ojeda, roughly. Here's Ojeda sighting. 3 signals here. Pinnacle's intact. 777.1. Okay, so that means I got 4 miles to go to 781. Ooh, something hit the box. Okay, I've obviously turned around and I'm now facing track east. This is still the east end of Ojeda siding. Approaching the west side of Ojeda siding. The signal on the left is for the siding, and surprisingly the bulb is on. It's green, highball, but I'm not really sure why it's green. That kind of implies that I guess maybe it doesn't imply anything because these are manual switches. So it's green if you stop and throw the switch. It's green, but you must stop and throw the switch before you enter the main. That's what I meant. Here's the west side of Ojeda from Rail West. 778.2 is what that marker says on the pole. Looks like a horse met its maker here. Too bad, horse. This is the jaw. I found some dining car china. Last time I was out here, I think I found a spoon. Well, I know I found a spoon somewhere. I think it was out here. It's about 10:30. I'm about an hour and a half into this adventure. I just went over the pointless crossing that doesn't seem to have a road on either side of it. And now the old alignment is to my left. There's the whistle post for the crossing with no point. I just found a couple date nails here. 67. Cool. It's not so much that the old right-of-way didn't S around or across the new right-of-way as it is that the old right-of-way just followed the contours of the land a little more. So back there it went off to the left and returned, and now it's gone off to the left and it's returning again. And where it returns, we find milepost 781, and I'm not sure they're visible yet, but semaphore 781.1 and 781.2 are just a couple hundred yards down there. Now arriving on track 1. Oh, the first thing I want to see is whether my Egged-Chrome box is still on the ground bed or not. I'd say probably not, but you never know. Oh, it's gone. I'm not too surprised by that. The question is, who got it? Mother Nature or a signal maintainer? Doesn't really matter. Why am I zoomed in so far? Alright, so I decided to take pictures. I wish I had a couple of these battery boxes for my semaphores. They've repainted the stripes on the blades. Oh, they've repainted the blades and the stripes. That's a nice touch. High five to the signal maintainer responsible for that. Okay, haste makes waste. And or there's some kind of curse on this semaphore. This tripod has a receptacle for quick mounting plates. And this camera normally has a quick mounting plate on the bottom of it, except I needed it for a different camera the other day, and I moved it to that camera. So that means I carried the tripod, which isn't that light. It's not that heavy, but it's not that light, all the way out here, and I can't use it. The good news is the sun is really bright, so I'll be able to get a reasonable f-stop with good depth of field and a high shutter speed. So I'll wind up with good pictures if I remember to focus this time, which I did not last time. God knows how that happened. The curse of 781 is real. Not only did I forget the camera plate for the tripod, but the rangefinder, the thing that helps me focus the 4x5 camera, is on the fritz. I opened things up a little bit, tried to figure out what was going on, and after poking a little bit at a cable that runs to the bellows, something popped, and then it started working again, but it didn't stay working. I had to go in there and push on the cable end a couple times during the course of shooting 6 4x5s. It's kind of windy here. I went with 1/200th, hoping that that's enough to erase the camera motion caused by the wind. If I went to a 400th, I would have very little depth of field at f8. I was using f11 at 200th. Well, I sure hope I got something. It's 11:09, by the way. I've probably been here for 20 minutes. 15 maybe. Alright, so I'll take some digital pictures of that out of here. I found a piece of semaphore glass. The correct name is roundel. It's a roundel. Anyhow. Hello? I hear a turkey. Speak, turkey. Again? Thank you. It's 12:15 p.m. at mile 779. Mile post 779. 2 miles to Ojeda. 2 miles from 781. I'm back at the east end of Ojeda. It's 12:49 p.m. Ojeda sighting, that is. I did not bring enough liquid with me. So, as you might be able to tell, I'm a little dehydrated. My mouth is very dry.